This time on Bone Revivals, we're going to drag this 1938 Farmall F-20 out of a barn that's been sitting in for the past 20 to 30 years and see if we can get it running again. And then maybe take it to an antique farm show. Hey, I'm Robert. You're watching Bone Revivals. Currently trying to get this thing winched out of here. It was in quite the hole. As you can tell, she was sunk in pretty hard in the back here. So, got some work to do to get her drug out of the hole here and get her on the trailer. There it goes. Oh, look at that. Slow it down for you a little bit. Straighten it out. Got to get it forward enough just so that drops. So just so you know, when it comes down, it's going to drop a little.
You got her.
The winch won't go in anymore. Okay. So here it is. We were able to get it loaded up on the trailer without as much effort as I thought we were going to go through. Now it's going to be a question of, can we get this thing running? I just pulled the fuel bowl off. That's what color it was. Here, can you smell it? I bet you can smell it right through the camera, huh? Yeah, that's 20, 30-year-old gasoline. The good part is, and the good news is that there was pretty much nothing in the tank. The tank was empty. It was just this fuel sitting in a sediment pool. What I'm going to do to try to make sure that it is clean is I'm going to get a bucket under here. And honestly, I'll probably just use the fresh gas that I got. And now I'll try to hopefully wash all the gunk and garbage out of the tank and get it flushed down. I do not want to put any of that crud through the fuel line and into the carburetor because, well, it won't run, basically. At least it's flushing out a bit. Should be getting all that nasty junk out of there. That looks pretty fresh. Checking the oil level here on the pan, you loosen these plugs up and it'll drain out. There it goes. That looks reasonably fresh. Don't smell any fuel. And there's no hint of coolant, which is good because unfortunately this thing, previous owner said that he thinks it's using coolant, so it's either got a cracked head. The block was cracked and repaired once upon a time as well, but that got patched and that would have been an external leak. We're thinking that unfortunately something's up with the cylinder head, so that'll be something I'll have to look into eventually. But he said it must be a small leak because they would check the coolant level, and yeah, the coolant level would be down a little bit, but you'd see the oil get a little milky, but that was it, and then they'd change it. So I'm hoping that we can just fire it up. This tractor isn't going to be getting put right back to work, so I feel okay with running it around a little bit, and we'll probably end up just putting water in the rad. But at some point, unfortunately, cylinder head's probably going to have to come off. You want to put that bowl back in there?
I was making sure you cleaned it.
Oh yeah. So that's going to go up and seat right up in there? Yeah. and then move your hand. This is going to come swivel down below it. Yep, and then it gets screwed tight, clean.
Wait, was that red stuff gasoline?
I think it was gasoline that was like separating.
Oh.
Yeah. Not good. So, it's a typical spark plug tester. You guys probably seen me use this a million times at this point, but basically when we crank her over, we gotta hope that the old magneto here sends the juice to, you know, through the spark plug wire and to the plug, and if it does, well then that means we should have spark and maybe it'll run. No. That way, this won't get mixed up later. Because I have a knack at messing up firing orders and just the way it goes sometimes. I'm just hoping that like the points need to be clean, because if a coil's dead or something, that's not something that I have in stock. So there's our points. No, there's corrosion on them, so that might be it. I'm hoping that's all it is. I certainly hope, because otherwise, well, like I said, if it's a dead coil, we're dead in the water. Definitely say there's a little corrosion on there. So I guess we can piece it back together and see if that makes a difference. Oh, we're taking the magneto off because in order to take the cover off at the top, clean the points up, that didn't seem to do the trick. So basically I want to get my meter on the coil and see if the coil's dead or not. Unfortunately, that also means tearing the whole magneto off to do that. So Kira's currently taking the bolts out of the bottom that hold it onto that plate. So I have the Sharpie mark there so we can put it all back together and the timing won't be wrong. But yeah, we just need to take it off now. You're doing a great job, by the way.
I know.
Can't be easy with this one, no sir.
When is it ever?
It's never, actually. All right, so we took our cover off here for the coil. This is our internal coil here. So we're gonna do an ohms reading test on it to see what the output of it is. Nothing. So my assumption is we have a dead coil. And we have to see if we can come up with another one somewhere now. Well, it's a new day, and I ran around this morning to a few local parts stores, maybe seeing if there was a chance that we can come up with a coil for this thing. It's a 1938 Farmall. Who's gonna carry a coil? Not Tractor Supply, not any automotive store. So, interesting. What to do next? Well, I guess my next best option is to hopefully see if we can find a coil for it at the tractor show. So that means we're going to be working on this in the middle of a farm field, and maybe it'll run for the first time then. Oh man. But since we're not going to hear it run, I do want to get it washed up. I mean, it's been sitting in a barn for, you know how many years. It's got layers of dust all over it. So we'll go ahead, we'll get her washed up, we'll get her cleaned up, shined up, and show ready just for it to potentially run and or not run. Well, tractor don't run, but at least when it goes to the show, it'll look pretty. Yeah. And all the other cute things we tell ourselves to go to sleep at night. Well, another day has come and gone, and the F-20 unfortunately still does not run. But like I said earlier, this farm show that we're going to, somebody's got to have the parts that we need for this thing, right? So the only thing left to do now is load everything up and hit the road tomorrow morning to get down to the show. Another F-20 here. This is the carburetor and the manifold that are supposed to be on it with the 90. We have the carburetor. We need to find the right manifold to get it back on it, because I would like for ours to have the correct manifold on it. This one also has the brake cables currently, the choke lever, the lever for the manifold, because when these would run on tractor fuel or distillate, they would run a little hotter, which is the same deal, has the same fan shroud with the sliding vents. This one actually has the complete lever for it too, that goes right up here, so that's pretty cool. A little bit more complete than ours is, but it's a good looking tractor. So here's a Farmall regular. I'll tell you some of the differences between the 20 and the regular. Once again, coming over to the manifold here, that's the same setup we got. Same size block, so everything fits, but it's just a little bit of a different style. But we'll upgrade from that eventually. This one actually has the rod too. How about that?
Well, we need to come up with a coil, and I've learned that the LB that we have, that coil that's in it is the same type of coil that's in the Magneto, the F4 mag of the F20. Well, I just bought 2 of them here for 40 bucks, and we're gonna go back and see if we can get this to have spark.
All right, I can do the ohms reading off of this coil here. See if it's any good. Oh, how about it? She's got ohms. That means that coil should be good. We need to pull apart the F4 mag here. I need to take it all back apart again, pull that coil out of it, drop this one in, hope that it all works, and then maybe we'll have spark. I didn't show you guys this before, but I want to show it to you here and now. So obviously this is the Magneto. This is what is entirely responsible for creating the spark that lights off. Okay, spark plugs here. You can see where I made a Sharpie mark here, and I also made a second one here in 2 different colors just so I knew. But the importance of making these marks and knowing that is that's what controls all the timing. This tractor ran when it was parked. That means the timing is set. So before you tear it all apart, make sure you mark it. That way, when it goes all back together, you're not questioning what the timing was. Alrighty, so for this magnet, there's 2 screws on this hold down bracket for it that need to come apart here. So I don't want to leave this magnet off something too long, so I'll go ahead and stick it to something magnetic like the frame over here. So we have 2 screws on the top side, and unfortunately the whole reason why you have to pull the Magneto off to get to this coil is because of the way that they designed it. So you have 2 screws on the top side here that need to be pulled out, and then we have to flip her over to this bottom side. There's 2 on the bottom side here. Our coil cover will now lift off, and here is our internal coil once again. Just to be sure, once again, I'll throw it on the meter here. Yep, and this one once again is reading nothing. Now, I know before I kind of thought about it after watching it in post here that I was trying to go to the ground here. This is technically more of like a cast, like aluminum. I don't even know if that's aluminum or not, but it might have not been a good enough ground. So even going to here, there's still no ohms reading. So that tells me that coil is dead. So let's go ahead and let's pull this guy off delicately. Alrighty, now that we have spark back, this tractor's been sitting for 20 to 30 years. Let's make sure that there's no gunk stuck in this carburetor. Let's get it torn off and cleaned out. That they have in these older carburetors are unfortunately cork, and basically I'm afraid that this one is so old and decrepit that it has holes in it, and that's just from old fuel being in there. We're gonna test it out by taking the float and putting it in this little cap of gas here. If it floats, we should be good. We'll clean everything up, reassemble it, and try again. If this sinks, unless I can find another one, we're probably done. No, it's floating. Okay. Then I'm gonna say that that's still okay then. And we will start reassembling this and getting her back together here, delicately of course, because this is just such a delicate process. Not trying to drop them. Oh, that was number 4. This is number 3. Well, white specks usually tell me it's burning coolant, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay. I'm thinking I might have a spec. Number 2 is gone. I don't know if there's any more too. Yeah, that one's definitely stuck. Are there any other ones? Well, it looks like intake and exhaust on 4 are good.
Get a screwdriver and pry up on that. See how it's down?
Oh yeah, it is definitely down. Okay. There we go. That looks happy now. So we have these little cups in here up on top of the valve cover. These valves are not self-oiling like most engines are. So we actually have to physically take a little oil can here. So we're just gonna go ahead and squirt a little bit down in there. All right, and then also our magneto has some lubrication points. There's some little cups here and they have felt in them. And basically what the felt does is it'll hold the oil and let it slowly come through the felt, and that's how it basically slowly lubricates itself. So this magneto has not seen any lubrication in quite some time, so we'll go ahead and get her lubed up before we start cranking on it and trying to get it to fire up.
Come on. Come on.
Worst part is we hook it up with this truck.
Yeah.
Pull it, I bet you it goes.
Do you want to have one of them hook it up?
Starting to think about it. safe and sound. We're here in the shop with the F-20, and man, such a cool story behind this tractor and being able to get it run again after 30 years of being in a barn. What we also didn't show you, but I will share with you, was that the gentleman that we bought it off of was able to make it to the show. We were able to crank this thing up and fire it up for him, and it's the first time he has heard this thing run in 20 to 30 years. And what you also need to know is that they bought this tractor back in the 70s because they were big into collecting farm tractors, just as my family was. And him and his dad put this tractor together. So a lot of the work and pieces of paint and everything else was done by them. So for him to actually be able to hear it run again for the first time in 30 years, it was such an emotional moment. It meant so much to him. And this is why we do what we do. So many people to thank. There was 3 gentlemen in particular. They were just so helpful in every aspect of it, you know, between, oh, I need a certain size socket for the spark plugs that I just didn't happen to have in my kit, or, you know, the one gentleman that was so gracious enough to grab his tractor and give this thing a pull because it wouldn't want to initially start. Man, I can't thank those guys enough just for helping me out. And there's nothing better than having the community come together. And that's what's so great about these farm shows, is that all these people are like-minded people that, you know, grew up the same way. Oh, such a feel-good video. As far as it goes for the F-20, she will be back. We have some things that we got to figure out. I'd like to get a proper set of tires on it that are matching, whether that means getting one to match that one or getting one to match the other side. We do have the proper carburetor for it. We do not have the proper manifold for it. That's something I want to look into at some point. And at some point too, cylinder head's gonna have to unfortunately come off of it. And we're gonna have to do a little bit of troubleshooting on the engine here to see if it is consuming coolant. If you want to see what's next for this tractor, you're gonna have to make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and your support. As always, it means the world to me. I've said it a million times before, I'll say it a million times again. I am nothing without you guys. I'm nothing without your viewership and your love and your support. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We'll catch you next time here on Bonaire Revivals. Take care.